This is Math 1431, coming to you from the College of DuPage. These are some reflections on the midterm, including a key pursuant to helping you prepare for the comprehensive final exam. Some of these similar questions may find themselves on the final exam. And as always, please be attentive listeners and learners when watching this video. Problem number 1, you were to find all solutions. This was a substitution problem. You let u equal 2x plus 3 whole to the 1/3. That means that you'd have u squared plus u minus 6 equals 0. This factors, and you find that u is equal to -3 or u is equal to 2. And when you invert the substitution, you'll find that x is minus 15 or x is 5/2. Number 2, you would find all solutions to this. You wanted to separate the quadratic terms, square both sides. The x's will cancel out. You consolidate terms, and you end up with having to square again. You have 2 is equal to the square root of x plus 3. Square both sides, you get this, and you find that x is equal to 1, and that checks into the original equation, and so that is your solution. Number 3, you were to find all solutions to this rational expression. By observation, you can tell that x equal minus 2 and x equals 0 would not be potential solutions. Having made that note, you can multiply all the way through both sides by x times x plus 2 to clear the denominators. Do some algebra to simplify. You get 4x squared plus 7x is equal to 0. That factors. You get x equals 0. That solution you have to reject, or x is equal to minus 7/4. Problem number 4. You resolve this inequality. You get everything on the same side of the equal sign, and you factor it. You find that the roots occur at 1 minus root 2 and 1 plus root 2. It turns out that 0 is in this interval, and so you can check to see that in fact it's the closed interval between the two that is the solution. Number 5, you were solving another inequality. Now this is the absolute value of 5x minus a half minus 2 is bigger than 5. Put the 2 on the other side, but now you have a greater than, which means you have an or proposition. If you solve the or, you'll get the answer is from minus infinity to minus 13/10, open interval union with the interval from 3/2 to plus infinity. Here you were supposed to factor this f of x into linear factors. By observation, you can tell that x equal 1 is a root, and you can check some other potential rational roots using synthetic division. And you'll find that x equal minus 2 is a root, and then you're left with a quadratic, which will factor. So that is factoring f of x into linear factors. This is problem 7. You were to find this function evaluated at minus 3. You can do that simply by using synthetic division. You do have to insert a 0 here, though. You find the answer is minus 47. Here's number 8. You were to find the polynomial of least degree. It should have said a polynomial of least degree, but that's okay. I counted it correct anyway. So you have to have a 0 of x minus 3. Excuse me, you have to have a factor of x minus 3. And here you have that 2 plus I and 2 minus I are roots. So it's a cubic. If you multiply all those together, you'll find out that this is the simplest polynomial, x cubed minus 7x squared plus 17x minus 15, or any scalar multiple of this would work and would have been counted correct as well. Number 9, you have a sewage treatment plant. There's 2 inlet pipes, and one pipe can fill a tank 3 times as fast as the other, and together they can fill it in 12 hours. How long will it take the faster pipe to fill it? You let X be that unknown, and that means that 3X is the time for the slower pipe. The amount of work that is done is rate of doing work 1 pond per X units of time. Per X hours, and plus times 12, and this is 1 pond per 3 times that times 12, it equals 1 pond. You solve this getting a common denominator, and you find that X is 16. Let's see, this is number 10. You had a piece of machinery is made from rectangular sheets of metal, and the length is 3 times the width, so this is 3W, this is W, but you're taking pieces out of each side, so the net of this when you fold it up is W minus 10. This is 3W minus 10, and the volume is going to be 1435. So you set this up, divide both sides by 5, and you get a quadratic equation that you solve. You get W equals 17, and 3W is going to be 51. Number 11, the explanation is using the intermediate value property for continuous functions. You demonstrate that f of 2 is minus 1, it's less than 0, and f of 3 is greater than 0, and you explain that the intermediate property says there has to be a 0 in between. Number 12, you had this quadratic. I asked you questions about the graph. The vertex is going to be at minus 3, 4. The range is going to be minus infinity up to 4, including 4, because it opens downward. Use the quadratic formula to find the x-intercepts, the roots. That's going to be minus 3 plus or minus 2 square root of 2, comma 0, and substituting x to be 0, you get the y-intercept is negative 1/2. Number 13, you divide all the way through by 3, and then you complete the square on the x and complete the square on the y, and you get x plus 11 over 2 whole squared plus y minus 5 over 2 whole squared, and then you have added this to both sides, and so you get 147 over 4, and so this is the center is at minus 11 over 2, comma 5 over 2, and the radius is going to be the square root of this. It's the square root of 147 divided by 2. Number 14, you were to find line 2 goes through this point perpendicular to the point going through these 2 points. So you find this slope. This is going to be 3 over 1. That means the perpendicular line is going to have slope negative 1/3. You can use the point slope form. Y minus 6 equals minus 1/3 times the whole of x minus a minus 3. And so you get y is equal to minus 1/3 x plus 5. That's the equation of the line and slope intercept form. You were to put it in standard form, and that's going to tell you that you have x plus 3y equal 15. Problem 15, you were to find when is this at 80 feet? This should have been 80. I left off the 0 there, but that is 80. And so you solve that, and you'll find that at time t equal 1 and t equal 5, it will be at 80 feet. The other question asks, how many seconds will the projectile return to the ground? Well, it'll be at height 0 at 0 and 6, so it returns to the ground at 6. Finally, you were to consider this rational function. The equation of the vertical asymptote, it is of multiplicity. 2 is going to be at x equal minus 4. The horizontal asymptote is y equal 3. The x-intercepts are going to be when the numerator is equal to 0, that's 2, 0, and minus 1, 0. The coordinates of the y-intercept are 0, minus 3 eighths. And when you check when is y equal 3 equal to this graph, you can solve that and you'll find out that it crosses the graph at 2, comma 3. Y is 3, and so you're solving for x there. So it is at minus 2, comma 3. In closing, we're looking ahead to the final exam. There's a significant upside opportunity here, but it will be a comprehensive exam, so some of this stuff, as well as the new stuff we're covering, will be on the exam. I wish you well and look forward to seeing you in class soon.